Officials at the Central Park Zoo continue their efforts to rescue an owl that escaped its habitat last night.
I am obsessed with the escape of Flaco.
Flaco succeeded against great odds. He's a true survivor, a true New York survivor.
New York City has a new celebrity in town. His name is Flaco, and he's a Eurasian eagle owl that escaped from the Central Park Zoo after someone damaged his enclosure in early February.
I've seen him in the zoo before. It's actually really cool to see him out here in the wild.
Flaco had been in captivity at the zoo for over 13 years, nearly his entire life. Zookeepers and bird enthusiasts were initially worried he wouldn't be able to fend for himself. But so far, he's exceeded everyone's expectations.
I didn't think there was any way that he would be able to fly. Once he flew, I thought there's no way he'll be able to hunt. And now he's off in a tree having a great time.
We want to enjoy our freedom, and now Flaco gets to enjoy his.
Birdwatcher David Barrett runs Manhattan Bird Alert, a popular Twitter feed that tracks and shares images of wild birds in the city. Remember Hot Duck or Snowy Owl? Barrett's been called their de facto PR spokesman. Now, bird enthusiasts are using Manhattan Bird Alert to keep up with Flaco.
Flaco's enclosure at the zoo was meant somewhat to mimic the typical habitat that these owls have in their native land, but it wasn't big. It didn't really give Flaco room to fly. He could just perch there, sit there all day, and that's too bad. Someone came to his enclosure and cut the wire mesh netting. He took advantage of it and escaped that night.
Every New Yorker dreams of moving out of their tiny apartment into a nicer neighborhood, and Flaco did it.
Last night, someone cut the wires of my cage. I didn't think it could be done.
As exciting as it was, Flaco was in danger. He'd been fed every day by his handler, and he didn't have to develop any of the skills needed to survive in the wild.
Concerned about his health and safety, people kept a close watch on Flaco's flying and hunting skills.
Within the week, he had hunted successfully a rat, caught a rat in Central Park. That's when we knew that he would be able to make it on his own. His flights became longer. He was flying more gracefully too, and he was hitting his landings.
Zookeepers tried to catch Flaco. They played sounds of mating calls to try to lure him. They set up a trap with a lab rat inside, but to no avail. After seeing that Flaco could take care of himself, hundreds signed a petition asking zookeepers to let Flaco stay free. In mid-February, the zoo acknowledged his improvements and suspended, at least temporarily, its efforts to recapture him.
As long as he's doing well in the park, as long as he's catching prey and he's healthy, then I think it would be great to have him in the park. Flaco succeeded against great odds. He's a true survivor, a true New York survivor. I think people respect that. So we're on our way to see Flaco right now. An important thing to keep in mind when you go to see Flaco is be quiet. You'll notice that nearly everyone is either speaking quietly or not speaking at all, not just so that Flaco can get the rest he needs, but so that people who want to take video of him and listen to his hoots, they can hear them. You can hear the hooting. So we want the owl to face us for the best shot. Now it's just a matter of being patient because the owl wants to rest for a bit. So what you hear calling right now is a blue jay. Blue jays try to irritate the owl and get it to leave. The blue jays are also telling other blue jays that the owl is here, and it's hoping its friends will come by and they'll all mob the owl and try to force it to leave.
It's actually crazy how many fans he has. There's so many people in the woods here with insane camera rigs trying to get the best shot.
He's just been evading people, so I think that kind of makes it even more of a kind of like funny situation.
What do you think we can learn from Flaco's story?
Sometimes you gotta fight the power, man.
While many celebrate Flaco's freedom, others worry about the dangers he still faces, like rodenticide poisoning and traffic. In 2021, Barry the barred owl, another famous Central Park bird, was hit by a vehicle and was found to have consumed rat poison. But there's hope to be found in Geraldine, a wild great horned owl that's been thriving in Central Park for over a year.
For some people, Flaco is a celebration of freedom. For some people, Flaco is an invasive animal in the park that's a danger to the native species that live here. For some people, Flaco is just a beautiful bird that they just want to see and interact with. I think it is an inspiring story for New Yorkers and people all over the world to see how an animal can overcome the odds and thrive even in a strange environment.
Delphine, what do you think about Flaco?
I agree with Daddy.